I thought this week's story was going to be about a peaceful day at the lake. Instead, it turned out to be something completely different. Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Come sit with me for a while. This week started exactly the way I'd hoped it would. Mr. Darcy and I spent the day at the lake together. The water was calm, the breeze was perfect. For the first time in a while, I felt like I could finally breathe. After the last few months, it's felt good to just simply exist. I even thought, maybe life is settling down. Funny how quickly life reminds us there's always another lesson waiting. The interruption. A few days later, I returned to another private lake by myself. I set up my camera. I hit record. I was finally filming this week's video. I was in the zone.
Come and sit with me a while.
The energy was right.
Out here on the lake.
Everything felt peaceful.
Beautiful.
I was in that creative space where time disappears.
Say everything.
Then
Oh,
someone pulled
Got a
up.
visitor.
He asked who I
Gotta
was.
stop my damn video.
He wasn't kind. He even said things that were not true. For a moment, I could feel my old instincts waking up. See, before this whole coming back to myself gently, I would have stayed. I would have defended myself. I would have needed to be understood, needed to prove I belonged. But this time, I just quietly packed up my camera and walked away. When I got back to the house, I felt unsettled. I told my husband what had happened, and he went back over there to make his presence known. I still needed to release some of that energy I had absorbed, so I called a friend. She encouraged me to let go of that negative energy, let it move through me and out of me. So I did a session to release it. And that helped. I actually felt good about my decision. I had protected my peace, or at least I thought I had. The real story. Later that day, I realized my body had been shaking internally during the encounter. Not because I was afraid, because I wasn't. Not because I thought I had done something wrong, because I didn't. My mind knew I was okay, but my body was telling a completely different story. It had reacted before I fully understood what was happening. And that's when this week's lesson found me. This was not the original plan. Life has a way like that. What I realized. Over the last few months, I've been reading, learning, studying Stoicism, psychology, Carl Jung, faith, and lately, even exploring astrology. One thing I've realized is that I keep finding the same truths in different places. different languages, different traditions, different ways of understanding life. Yet somehow, they often point toward the same questions. How do we become wiser? How do we become more whole? How do we live well? This week, I was reading Ryan Holiday's The Obstacle is the Way. There's one sentence that stayed with me. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In plain English, the very thing that feels like it's blocking us may end up becoming the thing that teaches us the most. I thought the rude encounter was the obstacle. It wasn't. The obstacle was realizing that although my mind had learned new ways of responding, my body was still carrying an old story. A quieter realization that humbled me because I realized knowledge isn't healing. Knowledge is a tool. Healing is patiently living those truths long enough that your body begins to believe them too. Maybe that's why healing takes time. Not because we aren't learning, but because our nervous systems, our bodies, have their own memories, their own timeline. I've spent years teaching my body to survive. Maybe now, I'm teaching it something different. Maybe I'm teaching it that it's safe. Ordinary life. The rest of the week looked wonderfully ordinary. I ended up at the doctor. Antibiotics, which is a setback in some ways because they kill the infection, but they also set your good things back. So with that in mind, a stop at the herb store for probiotics was in order. Gotta get the good guys back. A few birthdays in our big family this week. Family is coming into town next week. I started a brand new journal. It just felt like the next right thing. My old one served me very well, but this is a new season, new chapter, and new ideas for my direction. I'm calling it Mission 111. 111 days in Zone 1. Because I'm learning how to care for the person I finally started discovering. And somehow in the middle of all of that, this little community reaches 15 subscribers. 15! It may not sound like much, but to me, it means 15 people are choosing to walk alongside me. Thank you. I've noticed something else changing in me. Years ago, I spent so much energy searching for certainty, trying to figure everything out, trying to know what was the truth. Now, I find myself trusting more. Not because I have all the answers, but because life has shown me that even the chapters I wouldn't have never chosen have shaped me. I still know exactly where this journey is taking me, and maybe that's okay. Maybe certainty was never the goal. Maybe trust is. Trust that life still has something to teach me. Trust that every obstacle carries an invitation. Trust that every season is quietly shaping us into who we're becoming. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for sitting with me for a while. Remember to be gentle with yourself this week. Stick around. We're doing this together. Talk soon. Peace.